So I guess we start it. Welcome to the welcome to I guess it's the Nut Podcast.
The
No,
NutJobs.
not
With
okay.
a nut
podcast.
the
Okay, welcome
NutJobs.
to the NutJobs podcast.
Yeah, the NutJobs
I'm your
podcast.
host,
It has to be
OriginalXG.
capital N
Today
U
we
T.
have Oakley 9001, DondeEstaLaleche, MIDI 501, Wizord, I forgot the numbers behind it, and Mayonnaise. So how you boys doing?
Streaky.
Roberto, your
Or
camera's set up
Streaky.
like that one kid in the Zoom class who like has their camera on but just like only has their hair showing
Yeah,
and it like counts.
Yes, dude.
Okay, Umberto, I don't want to have to blur that.
Politics, am I right?
Am I right? Okay.
Shut the fuck up. Sports.
Elect a new president without me?
You're gonna raise the taxes without me?
Oh,
Have my taxes go up?
So the ozone layer has a hole, you say.
They put him in a peach again?
In a peach.
Hey, James, how was the giant peach?
I don't like peach. Oh, really?
We got some first-hand testimony here.
Jonas, how was the whale?
Have you guys ever seen that movie?
That's Jonah, not Jonas.
I know. It's funny because our friend, our
I remember when people
political
would call me
science teacher
Jonah.
used to call him Jonah.
Yeah, and then I played what's that song? Doing Your Mom in her class.
And then we do the
yeah,
the triangle one or whatever, right?
me and James were both in the same political science class, and I was sick of it, and I was in 8th grade, so I did not care. So I brought a UE boom to school one day. I turned it on, put it up to max volume, and started playing Doing Your Mom. And then she was like, "Who is playing that wretched tune?" And I went,
What teacher was that?
Miss Ligvoot.
Miss Ligvoot. She's like, "Who is playing that wretched
I had
tune?"
years for French.
That explains
She
it.
would bully Angus so hard.
She tried to bully me in
Max
that
would
class.
literally yell the F word.
Our political
and
science
then
class.
she would just
She would
like,
yell at him
be
for
like,
no reason.
"Angus."
Yeah.
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 Like Max would
He
just
could be
scream the cuss
completely.
word.
Well, who the fuck doesn't bully Angus? That's like
Yeah.
his redeemable quality.
Yeah, there's this one time whenever this teacher, there's this one time in 7th grade, it was this teacher, Miss 40, the Spanish teacher,
Mhm.
she hated everybody.
She was nice.
She was really,
She was nice to me because I'm white.
she was super sexist to all the boys in the class because she hated all of them and then favored all the girls. And there was this time whenever this girl, she wasn't even sitting at her desk, she was just sitting on the table next to Miss 40, right? Just for no reason. And then the class was talking, Miss 40 was trying to talk, right? And then the girl just screams at the top of her lungs, "Shut the F up," right? And
Just say it. We're on a podcast.
well, yeah, shut the fuck up. In the other room. And it was so stupid because then immediately she's right next to her. She saw her say the word, and then she says,
Yeah, I remember that
"Josue,
as well.
why would you say that?"
Dude,
And, hey Google, stop timer. And Josue got in trouble for it, for nothing, for something that he didn't
This
do,
is
and everybody
oppression.
saw it, and everybody was like, "Okay."
Miss 40 was nice to me,
Okay.
but bro, I came back to school like after my aneurysm, and I go into Spanish and she looks at me and she says, "We're watching Insidious."
Loser.
Insidious?
Insidious.
no. This is what happens. This is what happens. So, Jonas walks in.
Yeah, you close that cardboard door.
Miss 40. We're watching Insidious.
Yeah, and I was like,
Bro, I
"What?"
remember this
Pretty
one
much.
time,
They were halfway through
Chapter.
I
Insidious.
think it was me, Aiden, and
First one.
Jacob. And
Number 1.
I think it was me, Aiden, and Jacob. Maybe one other person.
Is this?
But-
Was it Connor in 6th grade?
I think it might have been Connor. It was in 6th grade for sure.
Tell me about
Yeah,
Okay,
it was Connor.
give a
It was Connor.
backstory. Give a backstory to
GT,
Connor.
we're
Give a
gonna go to the
back. Give it.
band
No. Give a
Oh,
backstory.
Connor! I went to elementary school with Connor.
Okay, give him
No.
a backstory so
he
they
had
know
like
who
a,
we're talking
he had
about.
like a 9-phone trophy, which is a weird trophy to have. I placed
No, okay,
14th
so me,
place.
Jacob,
in
No.
all
Give a
iPhone
backstory
tournament.
for him because that's what we have to do because people don't know who Connor is or what he's like.
Oh yeah, that's right. We have to get back.
He's short, he's white, he wears glasses, and he has curly hair.
Oh,
And-
in band,
I
he
know
knocked
from his
over.
40
He knocked over one of the instrument cages.
Oh yeah, he did.
It was
Yes,
my fault,
dude.
but it was my fault, but I
Yes.
convinced everybody to blame it on Connor.
It was great. It was so
like,
funny, man.
Connor did it.
Wow.
He was trying to go up
Everybody
and
was
reach
against him.
something, right? He was on somebody. He was trying to go over and reach something. So I like pulled him, and then he pulled me.
Dude,
So
yeah,
was
I
so
remember
bad.
that dude.
Dude,
Yeah, and then
bananas,
Mr.
man.
Thomas
Oh,
never
man.
found out.
Okay, well,
Mr. Thomas got
he
so
was
mad.
there. I mean, really, he didn't really, like, do anything in this situation. But, I mean, he was just there with us. Same thing happened to him that happened to us. So we were in like the GT club thing, and there's the whole point of the whole reason why we were going to the band room was because we had to do something called the Passion Project, which is
What?
basically, I mean, you just like
It's pretty. It's
You
pretty
have-
much like a project.
you have a
It's
couple
not
months
bad.
to just do whatever you
Sounds
want,
kinda
right?
cringy,
Umberto,
but-
And
Umberto.
it's like you just
Umberto.
do whatever you want, whether it's like
Passion.
whether it's like baking with your friends or
Passion.
making a
Circle jerk.
song
Dude, we
together
could
or
jazz.
Or a
Circle
video
jerk.
game.
making
it
a
was
video
pretty
game,
open.
Circle
you
jerk.
know,
We
went to
whatever,
the band
right?
hall.
Circle jerk.
So we were going to the band hall because we wanted to practice something, and you have to, I mean, for context, you have to cross buildings and stuff because we were in like the science building. We had to go over to the fine arts building,
Mhm.
and choir was practicing in there, and the choir
In the
teacher,
band
They were
hall?
practicing
they were
in,
just
like, the main
practicing
lobby. They were,
in
like,
the main lobby, yeah,
They
not in the
weren't,
band
like,
hall,
in
but just in the main lobby, right? And the doors were locked, so then we knocked on the door and we were like, "Hey, can you let us in? We have our instruments and everything. Or like I had my instrument, I think Connor might have had his, and we were like, "Hey, we're trying to get to the band hall," and they're like, "Yeah, no, we're not gonna let you in." Or the
I think
choir
they thought
teacher
we were
was.
like just some kids at after school that were just like walking around or something, you know.
Yeah, but like even if we were, like, why not just let us in?
I don't
And
know.
anyways,
It
There's a
happened
lot of
multiple
things that
times.
got
We went around.
stolen
We went-
at
we
our
were-
school.
Well, no,
we
what happened?
explained.
Jacob,
I know.
what happened is we knocked on the door, and then she said no. She told us to go around, and
Go
so we
around,
went
yeah,
around.
to the other side.
Fire
We
And
walked
so
teacher.
all the
went
way around.
She
We
got
knocked
mad.
again, and then she still got mad at us. And then eventually we found this other lady who like led us into the building.
Oh yeah, no.
And so we
Then we
walked
went
up from
around
the
to like
gym.
the bottom, yeah, like where the gym, like we walked up the ramp and stuff. And this other lady, she was outside. She just so happened to be outside, close to the track. So we went to those doors, and then we told her what was going on. She was like, "Yeah, okay, I'll let you in." And she walked up with us. And then as
And
soon
they
as
shot up the school.
teacher saw us coming up, no, and as soon as the teacher saw us
Well, it's
coming up the
literally
ramp, they were like, "No, get
Columbine.
back down there." They like stopped conducting. They started walking towards us, trying to almost as if they were gonna
And
like
then she
push
saw
us
them.
back there. And then the teacher was like, "No, it's fine. Just let them go to the band
And
hall."
then no,
And then we
because
did
then we
that.
had to walk by the band practice and up the ramp, like
But
while they
then
were
like
all
the,
next to us.
all of the choir
It was
kids
so
are just
funny.
like staring at us and giggling the whole time.
Yeah,
It
they're
was
probably looking at
pretty
Alex
amazing.
and going,
They're choir
"Ooh."
kids.
Do you remember Chaz?
Yes. Okay, for context,
Do you remember
Chaz was
Chaz?
another
I probably
short
spoke no more than
white
3
kid.
sentences with
No,
him
no,
the
no,
entire
no.
time I was there. I
He was
Chaz.
always so
Curly
Pull up,
brown
pull up,
hair.
pull up. We need to give him the context. Chaz was a short, like extremely short, white
You like
kid
the-
with
the-
curly
the-
hair, glasses, and an extremely high pitched voice. Tell your story.
His voice was so
He was
weird.
2 feet tall.
Yeah,
he had a voice like it sounded like Beast Boy almost.
Which one? Which?
It
Like
was
Teen
deeper, but
Titans,
still
like Teen
cool.
Titans, Beast
From
Boy.
Teen Titans.
Teen Titans Go.
Like Teen Titans Go.
Well, I mean, they're the same voice actor, so
Bro,
They are?
Umberto's grinding on
They
whatever he's
are?
playing.
I think it's the same exact people. It's just different.
Umberto's
voice
just
actors.
not talking.
He's just like
Really
stone
got
cold
my
face.
So yeah, Chaz was short. Does anybody have any Chaz stories? Oh, Chaz. I was in.
Oh, I know. I have a
I don't think
chess
so.
story.
He was in
Okay.
choir, that's all I know.
God
damn it!
I actually
Virtual
I
Boy.
didn't talk to him much.
Tragedy.
I didn't talk to him much in 7th or 8th grade just because I didn't have any classes with him.
Mhm.
But in 6th grade, I talked to him a bunch, and there was this one game. I forgot what it was called. It was. Oh, I know what it's about. It was like that anime game with like senpai or something, and you play as a
Oh, the
girl who's trying to like.
The
get
Yandere
the-
Simulator?
Doki
Yes,
Doki
that one.
Literature
What's
Club?
it? No, not that one. What's the one that James said?
Yeah, Yandere Simulator.
Yeah, that one.
So
So he was like a couple months into the school year, he was just obsessed with that game, right? And I don't know what but it has something to do with like killing the other people who also like that guy, right?
It's just killing girls who like your senpai.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Well,
And
for some
whenever
reason,
whenever he gets close to
he
you,
was
like
obsessed with that game.
Let him
your
finish the
game
story.
screen starts like pulsating, and then like the edges of your
Yeah.
screen black coming inwards whenever he
Yeah,
walks by.
I remember one time he it was in science class, and in the little thing that was in the middle of the desk that had like the markers and the scissors and stuff, he got the scissors and he would like kind of like put them by my neck, and like I don't know what, I don't really remember the context exactly, but it had something to do with that game.
Oh, was
It
he
had
like, I'm gonna
something to
kill
do
you
with
because
that
you like
game.
my
Remember our
senpai?
good friend Ben?
Oh, Ben. Okay, I have more of that, but I want to hear some other stories about Ben first.
More about Ben next
Ben?
Which
after
Ben?
this break.
Who's Ben?
Ben
I've
Dover?
been talking for like 5 minutes.
No, no,
straight
no,
now.
no. Who's Ben? I don't
Ben,
remember a
okay,
Ben.
no, we
You know
Oh,
Ben
Ben.
Beaver?
Don't
Yeah, yeah. We
Alright,
don't know
okay,
how to
wait,
say
wait,
his
wait,
last
wait.
name. His last name was like so complex.
Okay, well you can just cut
For
that.
all I
out,
know,
guess.
it could be the N word. Okay.
Honestly.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Alright, we'll just cut all that out.
Ben. I remember in ELA, me and Jacob and Aiden were in ELA together, and I think the kid's name was, he was Indian. I forgot his name.
There.
Neil.
Neil.
Uzair.
Yes. No.
Okay.
Ooh, Uzair was there
Neil.
too. It was Uzair,
I
Neil,
got a story about Neil.
and
Varun?
Ben, and they did a presentation on toxic femininity.
I remember. I wasn't there, but I
So
remember y'all talking about it.
their opening was, "What is toxic femininity?" I don't even know if that's how you,
Femininity.
femininity. I don't think that's how you say it. I don't think that's how you
Wait,
say
this
it.
was what grade? What grade was
It was
this?
eighth grade, right?
Eighth
Eighth
grade.
grade? No, that wasn't that was it was some
Varun.
different people, but yeah, it was Varun, yeah.
Oh yeah, Varun. Yeah. So it was Varun, Ben, Uzair, and I think one other kid. But I think
that
that
was it.
yeah. Okay, so those three.
I don't think Neil was there.
It wasn't Neil. It wasn't Neil. Every single slide on the slideshow was deep fried. Every single one. You couldn't tell what they wrote because it was insane. It was insanely deep fried. And the teacher, she was a substitute at the time. She was like, "What the hell? What? How are you supposed to read that?" And then they were
Oh, yeah,
like,
dude, that was the
"We know how
best
to read it.
substitute.
Why can't you learn how to
awesome.
read?" Blah, blah, blah. But in case you can't tell,
If you're exercising
these three kids, no. Three kids are like the annoying. These three kids are like the annoying anime kids. You know, the ones who are like,
don't
"Oh,
talk
you."
shit about it.
No. I'm not talking shit about anime. I'm just saying,
But
like the people who are
every
like,
single time that anybody says anything, they ask, "Is that a JoJo reference?"
yes, like,
They're that kind of kid.
I shit my pants. Is that a JoJo reference?
yeah,
Exactly.
basically. So
Well,
I don't know why you
funny
turned your
story
camera
about
off.
Something relating to that.
No,
Sorry, I'm sorry.
but
This
so
is not okay, Soul.
they did it like, and also a lot of feminists were in that class. So they were like, toxic femininity is when like you throw a protest for women's rights, and we're like, yeah, I mean they have the right to do that. And then like they threw out so many points that were absolute BS and had nothing to do with like women's rights.
With actual
Jake-
toxic femininity.
Yes, like nothing. And also, Jacob, why did you disconnect? Because now I have a black screen for
They
you.
just miss a dartboard.
Jacob, come on, man. Why did you disconnect?
Jacob, you know, what are the
It's all your
fans gonna
fault.
say, Jacob? What are the fans gonna say?
If you're a failure in life.
But anyways, I'm gonna continue my story. Like people got so mad, and I remember, I think it was Ben, but he was walking out of the class, and I forgot who, but some girl walked up to him and bitch slapped him so hard he fell and hit a table. She just, and he was like, bruh, like,
Damn, bro, blue hair girls don't fuck around.
yeah, it was
Oh,
hilarious.
excuse me.
He completely deserved it, and it made my day. But
I
yeah,
remember.
Dude,
I can't
okay,
hear Jacob anymore,
remember
so
when-
I think we're gonna have to do the
Alright.
everybody disconnect and then reconnect and do the camera and
Alright.
turn the camera.
Yeah.
So when I was in
Bartos just jacked
I was
up.
in advisory once, and
Mhm.
Neil, he wasn't even in advisory. He was in the advisory across the hall, but for some reason, like both of our advisories would like go in between each other. So sometimes
Oh
kids
yeah,
from
yeah.
that
Me and
advisory would
Jacob
come
had
to
the same
ours.
advisory as
Sometimes kids from my advisory would go over to theirs. It was a weird thing. But so he was in our advisory class, and my advisory was Miss Figueroa, and
Yes.
Neil was trying to argue with Miss Figueroa
Jacob.
about how women have had the same like rights and privileges that men have had throughout history, which of course is
It's
just
not
not
true.
a point that you can do much with.
I'll be back
It's
in
just
like
not a
1
good
minute.
point,
Just give me a
obviously.
second.
Okay, continue.
But and then if you try and argue that with someone like Miss Figueroa, man,
Nah,
Miss Figueroa
he
was
got
a
destroyed.
tall Latina woman who
He wasn't tall. I wouldn't say tall.
yeah, she wasn't that tall.
she was a medium.
But no, she was kind of
height
like the Me
Latina
Too type,
woman
even though she was
who
she
would-
was like a pretty like
who
reasonable.
had a loud
But like
voice.
no,
like,
Neil, he tried to give arguments, and Miss Figueroa would just like shoot him down instantly because all his arguments were shit.
yeah, I don't get what they like. Why? That needs to get cut.
gonna rebuttal this.
Like, I don't get why they had to disagree with all that. You know?
It's like no facts.
Yeah.
At all. I like how you can see your router. I can just see your Wi-Fi router back there.
I'll go and plug it right now. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You just see me walk over there and it's just butto.
You
I
just
think
you
Umberto's
stand
gotta have
up,
the
but
best
like your
camera
ass is
angle of
out.
anyone here right now.
Yeah, Umberto, you wanna?
The fuck, James?
Yeah.
What? No, it's
Do I want to what?
Okay, I'm back.
It's
Bro,
one of his fantasies.
What the hell? Bro,
Aiden-
this big one just walked into my house.
Okay, Aiden is
Bro,
joined the
Aiden
podcast
just
now.
said
Aiden,
Warzone.
if you
Aiden,
said
where's your
Warzone, we're in
podcast?
the middle of a podcast, right? We're in the middle of a
Alright.
Come on,
podcast.
Cool.
let's go, AJ Flores.
Jacob,
Oh,
stop
Aiden,
turning
turn
your
on your
damn
if you
camera
want to be
off.
part of the podcast.
Does he you to leave, Aiden?
I'll turn my camera off when I want to turn my camera off. All right.
Well,
Jones?
Bro,
no,
what the-
it,
this
tur-
guy
it,
just hit
it
me. What the
ruined-
hell?
like it makes it to where half of us see just a loading screen.
Oh, my bad.
Cool.
Yeah.
Dude, he's trying to eat. Just eat the Cheetos. It's fine. Just eat
No.
the Cheeto
Okay.
brownie.
So
Brownie.
we've talked about like the kids whose brains just aren't wired correctly, and they're just.
Wait, Johnny?
I have more stories about that.
No, we're talking about people who like made arguments in school that like just weren't valid at all.
Yeah. Okay. You have a story for it, Jacob?
Alright,
So
guys.
turn your damn
Guys,
camera on.
y'all talk about Varun? How feminism isn't real?
That's what.
No, that's not what it
the
was.
story we just told. That's the
Alright,
story we
Alex-
just told. Is
Alex-
Aiden.
Alex, did you tell your story, Alex?
What?
Did you tell your story, Alex? That we did.
Yeah, I told one about Neil and Miss Figueroa.
Okay. So, whenever I got in trouble at school, I had to go to AOC, and then like, I don't know where this story is going. I'm just gonna. Oh,
Just
think about it.
improvisation.
I got a lot of stories to tell.
Okay. We're here. Roberto, why
Oh
do
no,
you turn
no,
your camera
no,
off?
no. We at the end of the day in our advisory class, we'd have to sit down, and then we'd sit in a circle, and then we'd like talk about something for SEL. And then one day the
Same.
teacher was talking about something, and he's like, "Vivian over here, Vivian, the one that liked you, Jonas."
You mean
You know what I'm talking
the
about?
street rat?
Yeah. The
Okay.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Bro,
So she was
okay,
like,
Quick side story. She OD'd in my jacket and threw up all over it. I never got that jacket back. All right, continue your story.
This is so sad. This is so sad. Can we hit 50 likes?
Can we
No,
get
she
at least
did.
5?
She did, and then I never got that jacket back. It sucked because it was
Yeah,
brand
Can we
new.
get at least 100 likes and 5 subs from
Okay,
that?
Guys,
shut
we're
your
gonna
mouth,
start a
Alex.
GoFundMe to get Jonas a new jacket.
So I was there, right?
You can give
were
us
in-
all
we were in the corner.
$50 to buy Jonas.
We were in the corner, right? We were in the circle. We were sitting down. We were talking, and then he said,
Circle
"Son,
time.
dude, if Vivian came up to me and told me that someone touched her, I go over there and I rip his fucking balls off, like the teacher." And he was like, "Oh, rip his fucking balls off." Someone's like, "How'd you do that?" I get him, and I fucking twist him, and oh. And then one kid was like, "Yup."
That's so weird.
And then there was the other kid there,
Oh
my
god.
bugging. He was there because he tried
Oh,
to
look,
drown
it's
a
all-
kid in the
it's
school
going up.
shower.
It's going up. Oh, and the camera's way up. Soul, you're not participating in this conversation. Why are
I'm
you playing
sorry,
Fortnite?
my
Stop playing
screen is
Fortnite.
fucking
There,
up.
he tried to fucking
He's
drown a kid
mining and
in
crafting, bro.
showers. 'Cause I don't know if the
Yeah.
kid said something to him.
He's playing
Or, like,
Minecraft.
like, shut the
Minecraft.
fuck up. He like tried to drown a kid in the shower.
Oh,
Cause
speaking
like
of
he
drowning
like
kid,
said something to him.
James, you want to talk about you and Aiden's relationship?
Oh, okay. So
No.
Aiden was like
This
whining.
is a
He
good
was
story.
bitching.
Ooh, I
He
have
was
a
sitting
good
down
story.
there
No,
like
okay,
this.
shut up, shut up, shut up. Give context on
He was
Aiden.
doing-
Aiden
he was
had
doing
just
his work
Aiden
in
just
science.
no, hold up. Aiden had just joined the call. He is a short, very short actually, like 5'2".
No, he's not
Latino
too short.
dude.
Like 4.
Like he's tiny. He's very tiny and kind of tubby.
How the fuck am I screen
Compared to
protector
us.
already fucking
Right.
cracked?
Okay. And he
Alright.
was also kind of
We're sitting
wacky,
there
but
doing
we
his
were
work
all
in
friends
science,
with him,
right?
and he's on this Discord.
He's
Okay, anyways,
He's
tell your
sitting
story.
Sitting there doing his work for science, and he's like talking to Mr. Ramirez, and then he
Doing
says
his
something to
stats
Mr.
taxes.
Ramirez. So I'm like, I'm fucking with him, right? He's sitting down doing his work. So I come up behind him, right, and I'm like, I like get him like that, right? And then so I just like
Joke.
right I don't do it more than like 3 seconds, and then like he passed out. I don't think he did. I think that's a lie. He started to cry afterwards.
Passed out.
No, he started to cry.
His eyes rolled back
So I
and
guess
he
technically she
fell asleep.
OD'd, but
She said she OD'd.
Yeah,
But
dude. It's
She
like he
said
was
she
not
died.
breathing.
I don't know
Okay,
about that.
Umberto, why
He
do you
said
have to
he
turn your
couldn't
camera
breathing
off and on again?
Registered dead.
so
Like,
yeah.
come on.
So
Umberto, why do you have to
Then
turn
I-
your
then I'm
camera
in
off and
trouble.
on again? Oh,
Shut up.
it doesn't work
I was
anymore.
in math. I was in math class with Umberto.
Okay,
Umberto, the camera's not even pointing at Umberto. It doesn't even matter.
Okay.
So like, yeah. And then I was in math class with
I
Umberto.
I literally got a screen protector like a day ago, and that shit's already cracked.
This is so sad. Can we get 50 likes?
Okay, stop
Another
making the
GoFundMe is
joke.
gonna be
Stop
$7
making the
screen
joke.
protector.
Stop making the joke.
Yeah. So I'm in lunch. Me and Umberto are in line. So I'm telling Umberto about it, right? But Umberto knows whenever we go to our sixth period, we're sixth period. The vice principal comes to Mr. Earhart, and it's like, James, can I talk to you for a second? Talk to you for a second. And then so he talks to me about it. I tell him what happened. And then I come back in, and then Umberto looks at me and he starts to laugh. And then Miss Crawley, she comes, she's like, "You okay, James?" She's like, "You okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, Miss, I'm good." And then I'm with ALC.
Motherfucker choked out.
For
Well,
Mr.
I can
Earhart
talk
actually
about-
got cooler as the years went on.
I can talk about
Somehow.
my experience in ISS. You think that'd be good?
Oh man, that was.
Hold on, real quick before we. Okay, that just unravels like a bunch of.
Some kid,
stories.
no, I was in ISS, and then some kid didn't know what the word.
That opens the Eli door.
Yeah, that's a whole nother open door. And there's.
Well,
Should we
Love is an
should
open
we
door.
dedicate an entire episode to just
Episodes
Eli,
of him.
Yeah, we need
getting in trouble.
or should we?
Oh, shoot. Hold
How,
up, I
how
gotta
long
go
has
get
this
a
been
minute.
going? Okay, we've had around 20 minutes of podcast footage, right?
Oh, we'll just make a second one.
Maybe
Okay.
29, or we
Entirely
could
about
devote
him.
the next 30 minutes to talking about just him.
All right.
Talk about who? Just
Because it took us 20 minutes to discuss Varun and all of them.
Cracked? He's cracked.
So I
crying
think
all
30
dead
minutes
peoples.
dedicated to the most annoying POS in the world is a great idea.
You
Okay,
are?
hold on, real quick. I just kind of wanted to put. Hold on, I wanted to do a funny Aiden story real quick.
Okay.
One time we were in GT Club again. This was
We were in
seventh grade.
GTA.
And
Oh.
yeah, Alex was there.
Okay.
So we went outside, right? And we were at the
We,
track
we,
area. and
okay,
you know
wait,
that,
real quick.
you know
We
that
would always
area
have outside time. In GT, we'd always
Yeah,
have
we always had
20 minutes of like
for,
just
like, 20
outside
minutes,
time
yeah.
just to play.
before everything started.
So
right?
we were in
Um,
that outside time. We were in that.
Okay, yep. So we went out there, and you know the area over by the basketball courts, where there's
The forest. kind of.
the forest area where there's all those trees, right?
Forest,
And
yeah.
there's that one tree where you can like pretty easily climb up the branch, and it kind of
You
part
got
of it like hangs over
dude, I'm not gonna use it
Soko,
right
right?
Yeah.
And you can go pretty high, or you can just kind of stay low on the other branch and then just kind of hop off and be okay.
It
Well,
was the
there
tree
Oh,
was
I
closest
remember
to the
this.
field.
I remember this.
There was
Oh,
this one
yeah.
girl who at the time, she's like a grade ahead of us, right? She was in 8th grade or something. and she was climbing the tree, and then she went up there, and right, she was just sitting up there, and then Aiden saw, and he was like, "Whoa, you got up there pretty high," and he
We all
immediately
climbed the
we
tree,
all
though.
saw it. We all saw it, and we didn't. Me and Alex didn't go that high, and we all saw it in Aiden, or at least I saw it in Aiden's head. It was just like this, some gears turning, like, and he was like, "I have an idea. I'm gonna one up that girl. I'm gonna go higher than her." Right?
You like
So then what he did was he got up the tree and he started to climb higher and higher and higher until he ended up getting higher than her. But then he got up there, and then at first he was just staying up there, and we're like, "Yo, Aiden, we're probably gonna have to go inside pretty soon. You should come down." He's like, "I don't really want to," right? You know, first he was just selling it like, "Oh, he doesn't want to get down," but the truth is,
He got
because he
stuck.
couldn't get down.
I remember him hugging the branch.
because he was too high. Because we fell off,
And then
he
we
was gonna, like,
had
break
to
a
call
leg.
over. We had to call over like Miss House. Like she was Miss
And then
Peggy.
they blew the whistle. They blew the whistle to get them to come
we just
inside.
left.
And then Aiden's face gets super red. And then he's like, "Dude, I can't get down."
No,
I
no,
can't
no,
go
no, no.
inside yet."
Jacob, he never admitted. He never
He
admitted.
never admitted it. He still
He just
won't.
said he didn't want
But then he's like, "Dude, I still don't want to get down from here."
I remember.
We ran over there. Me and Alex sprinted over there, and we were like, "This house, Aiden's stuck
Stuck in a tree.
It's so
yes.
funny. And then,
I think-
dude, her face was just so funny because it was like disappointed yet at the same
But-
time like expected.
Like no
And-
laughing. She was laughing.
Exactly.
She
And
laughed.
then she walks over there with like the other two teachers, and they just look up at him, and he's like, "Don't worry, guys, I'm not stuck."
He's yelling down.
We had to stay out there for
Okay,
like
no.
another 10 to 15
just
minutes.
for some extra details. He was like, he was probably like 30 feet off the ground. Or actually, no, more like 20, but still. Enough.
Yeah, you still
enough
break
to
a
where
leg.
If he would land, yeah, like enough to where like he would easily break a bone if he fell, and if he like landed on his head, he could die.
So funny.
I think. How did he? I think. Didn't like the teachers bring back over the original girl that he was trying to one up, and she like directed him down?
Oh, that's so
Something
funny.
like that.
It was the funniest.
Yeah, they brought back over the original girl, and the original girl couldn't get him down. Oh man.
That's so funny.
Dude, Aiden gets stuck in
The walk, and then
Right,
me and
Aiden's
Alex
familiar
were
with
just.
this kid.
The greatest part
They're
was that
just
me and
laughing.
Alex we were just laughing the whole time.
Bro, okay, I remember coming out
Oh
of
my
band.
God.
Wait, was this 7th grade?
I don't know. Tell
Oh
the
yeah,
story.
that was 7th grade.
Okay, I remember
That was
coming out of
something, the one
band.
that I
I
just
remember
told.
coming out of
Kennedy
band,
story.
right? And I met up with you in the hallway, and you were just like, "Dude, Aiden got stuck in a tree." I was like, "No way." And then he's like, and then he came in, and he's like, "Guys, I didn't get stuck. I just didn't want to get down."
Yeah.
And I was like, "That's bull. You got stuck."
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so funny.
Give it a second. to let
Story
you know
time.
My food came.
Oh, awesome. Story
What?
time. When I was, I think 12, I went to West Virginia, and we have an
The
apple
plan.
orchard. Okay, we're not gonna discuss that plan. Not on something that's going on YouTube.
Oh
I-
no.
Don't know what the plan is.
Yeah, because it was a very small group of people that
So the
came up with
plan will
it.
never be told again.
Yeah.
No, well, it'll be told again, just in
No.
private.
Yeah. Or at Jacob's bachelor party.
Yeah. All of our bachelor parties.
That allude to the plan?
We'll just retell it every time.
Yeah.
We just gotta
no.
make
We'll
sure
just
there's
retell
no,
it
like,
every time.
cameras. There's no cameras. All of our like electronic devices are out of the room. You know?
Yeah.
So, because you know how some of the devices they like pick up like, well, like your interests, so they can sell you stuff, right?
Mhm.
The
We
trick.
don't want them to hear.
The NSA only lists
No,
trigger
but
words.
story time about trees. At the West Virginia house, my grandparents had an apple orchard, or not an orchard. It was one
Wow.
tree. It was one tree, right?
Oh, okay.
And they told me, climb up there and fill this bag with as many apples as you can. And I said, fuck yeah.
Or
And
12,
so
yeah.
I climb up there. I'm getting the apples. I look to my left, and there's a hornet's nest. And I'm
Oh my
like,
god.
and then
You
like
got the fucking
there,
Hunger
and I'm
Games.
like, while I was doing it, I was like hearing buzzing. I was like, I wonder what that buzzing is. And I looked to my left, like 4 inches in front of me is a hornet's nest. One of them lands on my cheek and stings me,
Lucky.
and my parents were there, and I go, fuck at the top of my lungs, and my sister goes, he said a potty word. And I said, Jonas, why did you say that? And I was like, there's a hornet's nest. Umberto, can you stop running a faucet in the background?
Shut the hell up. Let me do my food.
Dude.
No,
Go
and then
for it.
and
He's
then
like a
so I'm
buzzsaw.
climbing down. 4 hornets, like swoop down. One gets me in my neck,
Oh
one
my
gets me in my
God,
hand,
this
and
is so
another
good.
gets me in like right here on my arm. And I was just like, oh my god! And so I'm sliding down the tree, and then another one stings my leg, and I come out of there. It sucked. It sucked. It was so bad. I got stung
Headline.
seven or 8 times that day
I've never heard this
from a
story.
hornet's
Headline:
nest.
Getting
Yeah.
stung
No,
by
no, no, no.
multiple
And then
hornets sucks.
my dad said, me and your uncle are gonna go get rid of that hornet's nest. And I was like, with fucking what? And they were just like, well, we got some exterminator, and they had like these exterminating things. We're gonna climb up there. I'm like, good luck. And then so I'm looking out the back window because like there's like the house, and then like 200 yards away is the tree, right? And in between that there's a barn with a gate, and
And then Jonas pulls out a sniper rifle.
no. And then so they go
This
in
is just
there.
a Vietnam War
They
story.
go in there,
Plot
and
twist, it's,
so this is West Virginia, so you can hear everything, everywhere. And so they go over there, right? I hear tss of like the gas or whatnot they were using, and I hear, oh god, oh fuck, and then I just look out the window, and my dad and my uncle are bolting with an angry wasps, like swarm behind them, and they're like, fuck, go, and I hear go, and I hear the back door open, and then I hear a door slam, and I just hear like the window go trrrr of like hornets running into it. I was just like, oh my god.
God, that's like something
And my
out of a
dad has
movie.
like 4
This is
stings
something out
on
of a
him. My
cartoon.
uncle has like 6.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. Oh my god.
Oh, I got a. Oh wait, what was the story?
Yo, can I
No,
take
I
a quick
forgot.
service announcement?
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yo, come look at my food real quick, Tom.
I can't
yeah, let's see-
because
let's
your
see this.
camera is
Oh.
lagging because you turned it off.
Well,
No, I can
alright.
see it.
Okay, well you guys can see it. Okay,
What is
anyways, you want to tell your
It's
story now, Alex?
The chimichanga.
Oh,
Oh.
lit.
Where's
Nice.
that
Uh,
from?
I forgot what it was.
Okay, well,
Oh wait,
Lots
no, I
of
remembered. So okay, so I was at this church camp, right, called Camp Chrysalis.
oh, I've been
And-
there. I've been there too. Alex, when did you go?
I normally go like twice a year for the past like 7 years. I've gone.
Well, I
twice a year.
can't anymore because I had an
How cute.
aneurysm. But continue.
Dang.
Yeah, they
Okay,
don't
well,
allow
I
Good
have
Lord.
there since
one
Pray
scar.
that-
I have one scar on my body. I only have a single scar, and it's like a really small, like 1 centimeter long cut on my hand. And I got it. It was my 11th birthday. I remember specifically because I was there at the camp for my 11th birthday.
Your parents sent you
And
to
one of the
camp for your
activities that we were
birthday.
doing is, like-
Sheesh.
Yeah. Well, no, it was good. They actually made me a cake, which is pretty cool.
Uh-huh.
But
Screw
here's what
you,
happened.
real bad handy man.
One of the activities is we were doing like wood chopping we kind of like had
Oh,
like
I
a-
remember that.
like burning wood
Mhm.
into
Oh.
like using like a hot stick to like carve wood or whatever.
Oh, me and Soul
So-
did that in class one time in 7th grade.
I think I still have mine, Alex. I can
Yeah,
show
we
it
were
on
supposed to,
stream.
not-
But
Yeah.
or not stream.
Yeah,
but,
so we were
the
doing
recording.
that, and what happened is it slipped, and I cut myself with like a burning rod, and like on my hand, and I got a scar because of it. And I went
Is it
outside
still
to
there?
like get, yeah, no, yeah, it's a scar. And so I went outside,
I
like
have a
outside of
scar.
the shed where we were doing the activity,
Anyways.
to get like patched up by the camp director. And I remember the one, what he said to me. Remember, it was my birthday. He said, "Happy Burn Day."
Bro, whenever
He
I was
did.
in 5th grade,
If you knew him, if you knew this guy, the owner of the camp, he is the type of guy who would say stuff like that. His name was Fred.
Oh, that's so funny.
His name was
Fred?
Fred.
that makes it even funnier.
alright,
He was the owner of the camp,
Right.
Birthday.
and he was dating one of the camp counselors.
project.
He was.
That's
No,
even
they
better.
got married.
Perfect.
No, they actually got married.
Wow.
Him and the camp
Oh my
counselors dating. They
God.
got married and they owned the
That
camp
is
together.
amazing. That's
Wow.
wonderful.
But yeah, he said "Happy Burn Day" to me because I got a scar on my 11th birthday.
I
Hmm.
love that.
I'll fucking
I can.
lose it.
I hold up. I'm gonna go
Check
grab
this
the
out.
thing that I made at Camp Chrysalis with
Oh,
wood
and yeah, check
carving.
out
Which,
this
by the
nice
way,
stuff.
I watched a kid.
that.
He was wood carving, right? You know how you
Oh,
have to
yeah.
like make small movements. He was not that kind of kid, and he went and stabbed a knife through his hand. Like,
Oh,
I was like,
what?
because I was sitting next to him, and he goes, and I was just like, don't scream. And he went, ah, and then some other kid like cut their like finger, and I went, what the fuck, dude? And then the camp counselor went, no cursing. What? Holy shit! At like the top of their lungs because they saw the knife through his hand. It was so funny. I'm gonna go grab what I made.
I
That
got him, I
sucks.
think.
I think I lost it.
That's really nice. Thanks.
Well, that sucks. I kind of lost it. But yeah, and I remember this one kid at my camp. I forgot his name because we called him by a very rude nickname. But at the time, we
Was
were
it?
like
Who?
10. We were like
What was
10,
it?
maybe.
What was
I
it?
forgot, but
Haywood?
no, it was So, anyways, he pissed himself on the last day. I'll just get
Oh my
straight to the point.
So
Why?
fucking funny.
Because
Why?
he laughed at the stupidest shit. He laughed at the
Is he what?
stupidest shit of all time, right? Like yes, he is white.
Laughed so hard he beat himself.
Uh-huh.
Come on, guys.
So we were
only white kids
all
that can't
laying in
curse
bed. We were all laying in bed,
Oh.
and like
So,
bunk beds.
Gay?
Bunk beds, right? We were all laying in bunk beds, and then somebody
And then
told
he
a
whipped
joke.
it
I
out.
forgot, and the
But-
punchline was like
Hold up, James.
But
Shut up.
then
the
there's some
punchline.
water
No, 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 no,
dripping
no,
on
no,
your
no, no, no,
face,
no, no,
and then
no,
you
no.
realize
Yo,
it
yo,
wasn't
hold
water.
up. Let Jonas tell the story. Restart.
Okay, so the kid, right? I think one of the parts of his nickname, because he had done a bunch of stuff over the week, and like every time he did something, we'd add on to the nickname, and then like I think it ended in Chewbacca piss. I don't remember the first parts of it, but it was like it ended in Chewbacca piss. That's what it ended in. Yeah,
Solid.
I think it's because he had like a
That's not even a whole
Chewbacca
thing.
like blanket. I think that's it. But anyways, so he's on the top bunk. This kid is on the bottom bunk. I know the kid. He's pretty chill. But
Dude, I think
somebody
I know where
tells a
this is
joke
going.
and it ends in like Darth Vader's pubes, something like that. It was like some Star Wars character's pubes, and the kid starts laughing. And, you know, we're all laughing because at the time it was a funny joke. And then the laughter dies
Darth Vader.
down. The kid is still laughing. And then the kid underneath the bunk looks up and goes, Darth Vader piss. Or Darth Vader pubes. Right? And then he laughs even harder. And then the counselor's like, hey, you guys need to get ready and go to bed, you know? And then
Yeah.
the kid on the bottom bunk says, what the fuck is that? And he looks up. His hand is covered in something yellow, and something yellow is dripping down from the bottom. And I sit up because I'm on the top bunk, and I look, and I go out loud, he's pissing himself. And there's a
For everybody
huge,
to hear.
there's a huge wet spot. Everybody sits up. Everybody jumps up. And they look, and the kid gets out from underneath him and goes, what the fuck? You're pissing on me. Because the piss was going around the bunk, falling through the bunk, and landing on him. And then
I
he's
don't know.
like,
I
you're
don't know what
pissing
movie.
on
I don't
me.
know what I don't know what movie this is from.
Oh,
But there's
no,
a line.
I want to hear what the kid does.
Wait,
Right?
hold on,
And
no,
the
hold on.
kid,
Tell
and the
me- tell
kid
me-
keeps
I wanna- I
laughing,
wanna hear
and
this,
then
yeah.
like there's piss all over all over the kid, like below, and he looks up and he goes, "Fucking fucking Darth Vader pubes," and he pisses even more. I don't know how, but he kept doing it for like a minute straight. He pissed everywhere. Like there was a giant puddle beneath the bed, and then we had to make an emergency trip to the laundry room on the camp and to wash because like the next day was the last day when everybody went home
Wait,
to wash.
hold up, Jonas. What did he say when he was pissing himself? What was it?
He was just
He's-
laughing, no?
He was
Was
just
he just
laughing about it,
laughing?
and then
just
the
laughing.
kid who got pissed on like rolled over after he got pissed on, looked up and said, "Because of fucking Chewbacca pubes," or whoever it was, and then like the kid, and then we said, and then he goes, "Okay, so the last part of your nickname is Chewbacca piss," and then it stuck, and then he was on his way out of the camp. And his mom came to pick him up, and I could tell she was a very protective parent. And
Yeah, Chewbacca.
we all look over at him and say, "See ya!" And then we say his entire nickname out loud in front of everybody. And then we
Including his mom.
And then his mom looks at, and then he starts peeing.
Wait, what?
Pissing himself
He
again?
yes. we noticed something going down his leg, and his mom says, "What's happening, honey?" And then we were just like, "They called me the nickname," and I was just like, "Yeah, right." And then I whispered to my friend, he's like, "Fucking Chewbacca piss bitch ass," and he's just walking
Man,
home,
the kid must have really
piss
sucked
going
or
down the
something if you
piss
keep
going
talking
down
about
his
it like
leg. His shoes are now yellow, and
that.
'cause he had white shoes on, so his shoes are yellow.
That's why you never wear white shoes to an outdoor camp.
Yep, and
God.
he's walking home, mud on the bottom of his shoes, piss going down his legs. I will never forget that. Because it was
Dang,
so
what a
funny.
legend.
That is amazing.
But he was also kind of a bitch to everybody, so that's why we started making fun of him. So,
Speaking of which, now we can start the other segment.
oh, that segment. How much time have we delved into? We have around 38
I
minutes
feel
of
like
footage.
I feel like we should reserve it. I feel like we should reserve it for.
We should make it a separate episode, maybe
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
tomorrow.
that's what I'm thinking.
But yeah, so that's the Chewbacca piss story. I think eventually we should like dedicate an episode to like my brain injury or like injuries that happened in the past, like when Jacob's ear burst and whatnot.
We should find.
Or yeah, or the scar on my knee.
We should find
Scars on my
Chewbacca
knee.
piss.
I one time got a
Fucking
scar because my
nothing.
sister threw a water gun at my other sister and it missed and hit me in the eye.
Oh, that's so funny.
One time my sister shot a Nerf dart and it went right into my eye, like the eyeball, and I was fine,
Okay,
but
okay. I have a story.
it was weird.
Okay,
Alright.
And
James.
he became a bigger man from it.
So it was nighttime, right? We were playing around. We were playing tag or something.
Okay,
We were,
you
like,
and who?
running from
You and
each other.
who?
The some ghetto kids in the neighborhood I used to live in, and then my best friend's sister was playing with us. My best friend's sister was playing with us.
Okay.
What?
No, nothing.
No, you wanna say that?
Okay, start the story
She
over
hot?
so I can
No,
cut
no, no,
myself
no.
saying that. Start
Jihad?
the story over.
And then so we're running around,
Is
right?
she hot?
Fuck no, she was ugly. She was so ugly. And then so she gets the rock, right?
Alright.
She's throwing rocks, right? And then they're obviously, and then I don't know what the fuck happened, but out of nowhere, I turn around and just boo, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck? My ear starts to ring. I'm like, why the fuck are you throwing rocks? And I'm walking around. I was walking around, right? So my little homie, right? He was grade below me, but half my size. He's like, here you go. He gives me a shirt, so I'm like this, right? And then so I don't want to go to my mom's house immediately. So we go to this other dude's house. So my friend's name was Corey, and then so we call the other dude Big Corey because his name was Corey too. So I'm walking around with towel in my head, and he's sitting on the porch. He's like, "Hey, little bro, what happened?" And I show him. He's like, "Oh yeah, man, you gonna have to go to the hospital get stitches." Fuck. And then so my friends went to tell my mom, and I was sitting there. I was like, "I'm going to the hospital." Yeah. And I got stitches for a week, and then they just
Man.
fell out. And then I was good. I still
Yeah.
had the scar. It's there. It's not very big.
I have a pretty
My
damn
mother's
big
like,
scar, but
"Dude,
I'll show
that
it
was
later.
a sharp ass rock." The doctor's like, "That was a sharp rock, man."
For me, I only got stitches once, and it was not that long ago at all. It was
Okay,
June
why
or
don't we?
July.
Okay,
have
I
a
guess we're
picture
gonna
on my
tell
phone
all
that
our
would
stitches stories.
show the
Go,
day.
go, go.
Yeah.
I don't have
So-
a stitches story.
So it was June or July 2020, right? And me and Aiden, we were like, hey, we should go on a bike ride together because we haven't done it yet. We live close by now, and we live really close to each other.
Wait,
and it's like,
Jacob,
why
was
not
it the
go on a
first
bike ride
time?
together?
Was it the
This
first
was
time?
the first time that we ever went on a
First
bike ride together,
time.
and you weren't there because
Yeah.
at the time, you hadn't ridden your bike in a long time or anything, right? And anyways,
No, it's because my bike was broken.
They
Yeah,
all
there
live
you go.
close
Need
next to
repairs.
each other.
And anyways, so me and Aiden went on a bike ride together. We were like, yeah, it's good, get some exercise, get some air, right? But we went a little later, and it was starting to get dark out, so we started to head back home. And then on the way back, we were riding. There was no sidewalk on the street that we were going down, so we just rode really close to the curb. And the side of my if this was the curb, the side of my tire barely scraped against the curb, and then it ended up throwing me off my balance and I fell over, right? Okay. Had I fallen over and just landed just in the grass or just on even just the gravel or something, I guarantee you I would have just walked away with a scrape and went home, got a band-aid, would have been fine, right? But I fell down I fell down to the left because the curb was to my left, and there was a bunch of bricks laying out around this tree, around like a little garden or whatever, right? But the edge of the brick, like this is the face and this is the top. The corner part, right here, that's where my knee landed, right in that fold, right? It went straight into my knee, right? And then and I also scraped it a little bit higher up on the knee, and the blood was dripping down. I was like, man, this hurts. And then I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to ride my bike home, dude. This hurts way too much. And then I had to call my mom. She picked me up. And then,
Mommy,
I went home, took a shower.
decked my knee.
And then, dude, I was actually I wasn't even like crying or anything. I was just pissed because I was like, dude, this is the first time, and I already fell off my bike, and I mean, like, I did not want this. Did not go as planned, and anyways, I was like, you know what, it's fine. I went home, I took a shower, and then my mom checked my knee. She's gonna put some medicine on it, but then she's like, whoa, this cut is way deeper than I thought it was, and she realized that I needed
She was
stitches.
like, I like you
So
cut,
then,
G.
So then we went to the ER or something
Mhm.
at like, it was probably 9:30 at this point or something. We got there at like 9:30, and then they gave me a bunch of shots around my knee, and then they put some water and they just scrubbed in it. They scrubbed it while it was numb to get all the dirt and stuff out. And then afterwards, they put the stitches in. I couldn't walk for like 2 days, and then because it was on the joint, so it was really hard to do anything. And then but then I mean, I just
I'll tell
10
my
days later, I
I'll
went back.
tell
They took out the stitches, and now I have a 6 scar. Look at that.
I'll tell my
Hey,
stitches
And
story.
hold on, let me show you
I'll
the
tell my-
picture real quick.
No,
Give me a
no, no,
second.
no, 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 no! Don't turn
yeah,
your
we saw the
camera off,
picture.
No, I'm gonna
Jacob.
No, I'm showing the picture. I'm
Yeah,
gonna show
but
you
you
the
turned your
picture.
camera off, and it's already
Shoot,
hard
yeah,
enough
story.
because Soul's not contributing,
Oh,
and
Umberto's got a story.
Umberto's
Umberto's
not
got a story.
contributing.
I got a
and
story, but it's not as interesting as y'all's.
That's all right.
It's still a story.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah,
let me
Soul's
get
not
the-
contributing. Soul, I don't. Do you want to be on
picture
this,
up.
or do you want to?
Sorry. I have scar stories though.
Okay, tell it.
Well, I'm not.
I've never
Okay, hold
broken
on.
anything.
Okay,
I
to
didn't say
the
anything about that.
here.
Why do you need to stream it?
Why?
Oh yeah.
Look at it.
Oh yeah.
I'm not looking at that.
I'm
Yeah,
just
no,
saying
so
I'm
that's-
not gonna look at that.
I
yeah,
remember
that's
it.
that. And then that's it with the stitches. And then that other thing scarred too.
Okay, hold up. Come
Yeah,
back.
whoa.
Come back, and I'm gonna go grab
Deep.
something. What conversation are we in the middle of?
Umberto's about to tell
Yeah, Umberto's about to tell a
Umberto
story.
has a story.
Okay, Umberto, let's hear it.
I have a story, or rather like a theory, that Owen's cursed. Because whenever I tend to hang out with Owen, Owen's like one of my best friends.
Owen's
Just
tall,
for backside.
white, has I almost said orange, brown hair,
Short brown hair.
short brown
What the fuck
hair.
are we giving a cop discovery of?
You wanna tell us about the
Yeah,
time he broke
Jonas
his
has done
thumb,
for everyone that we haven't.
or you broke
He's in it
his
for
thumb?
everyone.
No, I don't want to tell that.
We feel like
Anyway.
We gotta tell that.
Um,
Okay, tell this story, and then we're telling the other story.
No, I don't know. Anyway,
Are you cursed? Why is he
he's
cursed?
cursed because the very first time I hung out with him, I went to his house. And that's basically where it all started because we went out riding bikes late at night. I luckily didn't break anything, but there was a car that was right in front
got
of
hit
us,
by a
and I
fucking
couldn't
car.
tell if it was either backing up. I couldn't tell if it was either backing up or like heading towards us. So I slammed on the brakes, but I slammed on the wrong one, and I flung myself forward to the pavement, and I ended up scratching up my hand because my
So are
instinct
you
was to
cursed or is
reach
Owen
for my
cursed?
hand. No. Hold on,
Tell
so
us
no.
more her stories
Yeah.
about Owen.
Okay, so that's just the first one.
Uh-huh.
So I scraped on my arm and my hand, and then we hang out again. And I'm pretty sure the next time he broke his thumb. And then there was more times where there was another time when he came over to my place, I think.
a funny story.
You'll still
And
go
we
to bed.
went to South Park Meadows,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm pretty sure he was next to me, and we skated down like this kind of pavement area where like the park is in South Park Meadows in that area,
Mm-hmm.
and we were skating there, and I hit like a fucking random ass pebble came in front of me, and I flung myself forward again.
Dang.
Damn.
Then another time that we hung out together, I tried jumping a goddamn fence. My shoelace got caught in the lock of it, and I fucking landed on my face on the concrete.
Jesus.
Whoop, bruh.
Cool.
We just always tend to get hurt whenever either of us are
Yeah.
around, really.
You guys need to stop horsing around. Tell the thumb story,
Tell the thumb story, Umberto, or we'll
I'm
tell
not
it
telling
for
that
you.
story.
Okay, so
Don't tell my fucking story.
well,
What the
you,
hell?
Yeah, no,
then you
don't
better
tell-
tell it, or we're gonna tell it for you.
You should have Owen tell it. You should have Owen tell it. Owen should
Oh
tell
man,
it.
you really gonna do him like that, guys?
Don't fucking do that.
Dude,
I don't
it's a
even know the story, to
funny
be
ass
honest.
story.
Jacob,
No,
Jacob, you
keep
know
that
the
It's
story
a
story.
between
funny
all
I
ass
mean, I
Yeah,
probably
story.
do,
don't-
but it's just been a while. It's been a while.
Don't
so I
tell the
I don't
story
know.
if you-
keep that story in
It's
between all
Yeah,
of us.
don't tell the
so
story if you just
funny.
want us.
It'll be an inside joke.
Not really, but like, it's a funny ass story. And bro, you're not the
Bro,
dumb
there's
one here. You're not the
plenty
dumb
of
one here.
fun-
Owen's
Bro,
the
it
dumb
doesn't
one.
Yeah,
matter.
but
I still don't want it to
We're
go.
we have plenty of funny in this friend group. We're alright.
Yeah.
Okay,
We'll
well that
survive.
story's gonna get told
If I
like
wanna
in
tell it
maybe
a
2
different day,
years.
I'll tell it a different day, but not.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. That is a funny ass story. I'm
You
sad
can
that we
save
don't
that
get
for
to,
its whole own clip on its own.
like its own
Whole
15
episode.
minute like own 15-20 minute clip of just the thumb story.
The thumb story.
The thumb story.
Hey, if we don't tell it right now, we can keep them anticipated.
True.
Yeah.
Keep the reason anticipated. Keep him intrigued.
Who remembers when someone got
If we get 10,000 subscribers, we'll tell the thumb story.
If the video gets 10,000 If the video gets 10,000 likes, what's the thumb story?
If
If this video gets
10,000 likes in the first
50,000 likes,
24
I'll do it
hours.
again.
1,000 subscribers,
I'll
we
do
need
it again.
500,000 subscribers. We're telling the fucking thumb story.
who remembers when somebody brought pepper spray into the cafeteria?
Who?
Oh, yeah, no, I
That
know.
sounds
Oh,
super familiar.
I don't
I
remember.
was
They
in
I,
eighth
turned
grade,
into
I
a
think.
fucking
yeah, Jacob,
flash
I can't
grenade,
remember
and
the
we
story,
had to,
but I
like,
remember
evacuate the-
it sounds
I
so
remember
Okay,
familiar.
so let's
Yeah, I
just
remember
put
it
this into
happening, but I don't really
perspective
remember
here.
it.
I'll
Oh, I
get a
know
piece
who
of
did it.
paper. No,
I know who
let
did it.
me get a piece of paper. I don't
Yeah,
either, and I'll draw out the
Let
cafeteria.
Jonas talk.
I'll draw out the cafeteria real quick,
I'll
and then
tell
I'll
you
show.
on the cafeteria. I'll give you a description
It
of
It
the
sounds
dude.
familiar, but I don't remember.
Bro, the
Yeah,
dude
we
who
all started
did it,
coughing.
he was like fat. Like, I'm talking, he was huge, bro. Whenever he walked by, he go boom, boom. We go, oh shit, like fall. Like whenever he walked by.
Who?
And he would also do this thing where he'd get on a tree outside in the courtyard and he start to act like a monkey.
Bitch,
And
who?
he'd get yelled
Who?
at. I think his name was Julian. Probably
Oh,
didn't
there
know.
it is.
Oh,
Okay.
I remember him. Yeah.
Okay, what's happening?
Dude, I remember Julian.
Oh, the kid with like the shaved
And then
head
he
and
like
shit?
one time he broke the
God,
tree
that
between his
guy.
teeth. So it's
Yeah,
funny.
I remember
Oh, but then one time I was out, we were going to like
How many
like,
tables were there? Were there
I don't
8?
know.
Were there 8 tables?
We were going like
8 like lines of tables?
No, oh wait, no. There was 8 rows. There's 8 rows. No, there were 7 rows of 2 tables, so there's 14 total.
Okay, well then I
And
need to
then,
make
Oh,
these
it was-
tables way smaller.
It was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then
It
there
was
was
7
like
rows.
space in between, right?
Mm-hmm.
except
Well,
from
no,
the
there were
last
It
just
wasn't like
2
one big long
per
table from wall to
row.
wall.
There were just 2. I think it was 14 total.
Oh,
Yeah, 'cause
there was
there's
just
a space in
2 by 7
between.
rows.
Yeah, there's 14 tables total.
There's 4
Yeah, and there's a
tables.
space in between the 2 tables.
There's
Yeah.
space in between,
So
but
yeah,
the
it's like it's a
tables
7
made
by
up
2
of
grid.
two-
Uh-huh.
It wasn't one folding down table, it was 2 folding down tables, and then they would break, and then they have another
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10,
And I
12.
remember exactly where we sat. If you pull it
Oh,
up on
yeah,
the chart,
for
I
sure.
could
1, 2, 3,
like I
4,
would be
5,
able to
6,
name.
I think it's the
each and
third
every
table.
one of
The
our
third table from the
designated.
window.
Okay.
It was the
It
third
was.
table from the window
Yeah,
on the
third
right
table-
side, closer
I
to
do.
the entrance door.
No, it was right next to the gap, but it was the one table closer to the
Yeah, it
door,
was
but it
right
was
next
the
to the
closest we
gap.
could be to the gap.
Yeah,
I'll be right back.
and
I remember
I think it
Kimberly
was-
and Olivia and all that.
They were on the
were
other
on the
table
other side.
across from us, on the left side of us. I remember I was the third seat on the right, with my back facing towards.
I was
like,
in the
the
middle
sink.
seat. I was in the middle seat.
You were in
on
the middle seat. Who was in the
right.
far left? Was it Aiden?
Yeah, it was Aiden, and then it was
And then
Jonas in
Soul
the
on the
middle.
right.
On the other side, it was
Soul on the
Jonas in the
right,
middle.
Jonas
Okay,
was right
well,
in
I'm
front
just
of
gonna
you.
put
Reed-
where we were at the time. So
Reed sat
our group
across
is
from
here.
Aiden, and then Angus sat across from you, and then Soul sat on the other side of you, Jacob.
Yeah.
And then Umberto was 2 rows to the
And then
right.
Umberto would sometimes sit with us, but he didn't always because
I think
he had
that day he was
different
2
lunch.
rows to the right.
Because he had girls. I'm kidding.
I want to come and visit and like this.
Alex,
Dude,
don't even
no.
bring that up, bro. I don't want to hear that coming from you.
Okay.
No, I mean you did. You always have
James,
the,
where did you sit?
Alex was the ladies'
Could
man.
I would
Yeah,
always
I'm not-
sit
On
like,
this
the
on this
seventh
grid.
table.
Alex, he pulling way
Yeah, I
more
would-
bitches than any of us. He
Where,
just
who,
don't-
where
I'm
did
not-
who sit?
Umberto,
Where did
Umberto,
who
chill
sit?
out. I'm not.
Oh, I would
I
always
can't
sit,
see.
I'm not
I
mad.
sat-
I'm just saying, bro.
I was on the
like,
Oh, okay.
you
third
way more
row.
girls than-
Here?
Third seat.
Here?
up
It's a pretty astute drawing.
all
Yeah,
the way
James
to
didn't send us to sit with us.
James should not sit with us.
Okay.
What time is it?
So
Oh, it's only 10:30.
we were all
Oh no, it's
here,
10:40.
right? And then right about here, somebody used pepper spray. And for
Wait,
some
who?
reason,
Big Julian kid.
I like the big like
Wait,
this big
I just
kid named
told you.
Julian. I don't know. I think it was him.
On who?
Okay. Here, I have before we divide into the whole story. I have a story. We were going to Big Lots, right? I was going to Big Lots or some shit like that, or like Michael's, like art supplies or some shit. And so like I know he's in the car. I'm like the window does not exist on his like the car that he's in, and the bass is, and I'm like sitting there like, hurry up, please come out of the Big Lots, please, because like he was sitting there. The car was like they never turned it off. We were there for a good 30
They
minutes.
just left it there.
It was just so like it
How?
never. It was just like.
Okay, so anyways, so this is Julian kid, right?
I have a
It's
story.
pepper
Remind me to
spray.
tell you after we're done.
Okay,
After the
got it.
recordings.
So I don't know who he pepper
cute.
sprayed, but he did pepper spray somebody. And like I think it got sucked into the AC, cause then the entire like this. Okay, hold up. Let it load.
Too much
This
glare. Yeah.
whole area, including right up here, like got covered in pepper spray, and the school had to go on lockdown. Everybody had to evacuate the cafeteria. It was crazy. And like I remember going into second period, my eyes were a bit itchy, but I didn't get hit that hard. Some kid came in crying with like their eyes red and puffy.
Okay.
Cause like I don't know if the pepper spray got into the AC, but it went all over the cafeteria.
Dang.
It was crazy,
I
and it
know
was
for a
it was hectic
fact-
getting out of it because there was so much pepper spray, and everybody was running out, and kids like I saw kids run into a cloud of it, and they went, "Oh fuck!" and somebody fell.
I
It
dare
was
you. What are the
crazy.
odds you won't run into that
It
cloud of
was
pepper spray?
crazy. Okay.
What are the odds you won't put your dick in it?
I don't know why.
I remember, Alex. I don't think we were there because I don't remember.
I don't think.
having
Yeah, I
to
don't think we were
evacuate.
there.
I don't know where we were, but I know that we were somewhere else.
Reed,
We
we're
came
doing a
back and then Jonas
podcast.
Hey,
told us the
Reed,
story.
leave.
No, he
We
doesn't
might
have
have
to leave.
been.
We're doing a podcast.
No,
Be
he doesn't have to,
interesting.
but just just
Hello?
turn your camera on.
Reed, we're doing a
We might
podcast.
no.
have been at like lunch
You guys
have to.
tutorials.
A podcast.
Can you read? Can you read?
Field trip or something.
We're doing a podcast.
Oh, I was just joining to say I was gonna take a shower. So
Okay.
You don't.
Of course you would join.
Okay.
Thanks for
Why
Okay.
would you join? Why
Thanks
would
for
you join?
telling us,
Thanks for
cutie.
the
Now
update.
go take it.
okay.
Anyways.
I could.
Take your phone and turn the camera on.
But I have my.
No.
Hell no, you smelly bitch. Go take a shower.
Yeah, I do. That's why I'm about to take a shower.
Okay, then
Go
leave,
take
smelly
one.
hoe.
Go take one. Go take one. Go take one. Go take one. We need to. We need to.
Okay.
We have at least 20, maybe
You
25 more
stink.
minutes
I hate you.
for this podcast, and then it's over because that'll be the hour.
Alright, well,
Um,
you do that,
Oh,
Reed.
okay. All right.
Okay.
I was closer to it, and somehow it didn't.
10:42.
It didn't bother.
Yeah,
me.
it
We didn't have to go to. We didn't have to go on lockdown. Like you just had to.
Well,
leave
we
the
didn't have to
cafeteria.
go on lockdown, but they had to evacuate the cafeteria. It was hectic, and I think Jacob and Alex were both at a GT field trip, and I think Aiden was too.
Yeah.
So me, Angus,
What? Yeah, Aiden would
Soul
have been
was
there too.
too.
What GT field trip would it have been?
I don't know,
I don't know.
but
Oh, it was probably whenever we went to San Antonio. That's probably what
Wait,
it was.
what year was it?
It was eighth grade.
8th grade year.
Yeah.
Wait, what was it? 8th grade? Was it like 2020 in 8th grade in like February or January?
2019.
Okay, yeah, we were in San Antonio.
Yeah, we were at San Antonio.
So,
if it was GTA,
anyways,
then yeah, we're at
me-
San Antonio.
Oh,
And
wait, then that must
Angus,
have happened twice.
me and Angus are
So I think that would've been
chilling in the
2019 maybe.
cafeteria together, right? Who else
Yeah.
was part of that group?
Well, if Jonas was there for it, then it was before.
Yeah.
Soul I think was on the trip with us too.
Soul was.
Because I
Aiden
remember
was.
So-
specifically because remember San Antonio,
So
they had like one COVID case in San Antonio, and we were all like, "Oh guys, we were like making
Oh,
messing
yeah,
around, like,
so
oh,
that
don't
would have
touch
been like
anything, don't get
January or
COVID,"
February.
'cause
At
we
the
went
time.
to a
That
San
would have been
Antonio
January, February.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
that
couldn't
would
have
have been
been
January,
2019.
February. Then. Yeah,
No,
that was
it
January,
was
February
2020.
2020 then, because that was when everybody. That's when
I think that
by
was like the
February
day
of
I came. I
2020,
think that was
there
like a
the
week
first
after I
case.
came back.
Yeah.
It must have been
Yeah,
like a
no,
week
that's
after
what
I
I'm
came
saying.
back.
That's why I'm saying it can't be 2019.
Yeah,
Because
it has
you
to be.
came
Because
back
at that
then.
point it wasn't a big deal and nobody thought it was gonna become what it was.
Okay.
And,
I remember Reed
yeah.
and Angus, they were getting so mad that March Madness was canceled because of it. It's like it's just
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's not even that big of a deal.
So
Guys,
Reed,
something that could
me,
evolve
and
into a
I don't know why they
Angus.
have to cancel March
Panic.
Madness.
I know.
We
Reed,
be on
me,
the
and
bus.
Reed, me, and
We be on the bus
Angus.
and hang.
We're
I rode the same
all-
bus as Hang.
We're all sitting together, right? And then we look to our right, and we just see kids running away, and like with their hands over their eyes, and like crying and shit. And we're like, "What the fuck?" And then Mr. Earhart goes over the PA and says, "Get out of the cafeteria. Do not use the southern entrance," which is where the kids that exited originally got like pepper spray in their face. And so we were all like,
Wait, did
okay,
you
and
really
then
say
like
Southern entrance?
I think it was something like that. And then
It's
they're
kinda
like,
weird.
"Get out of the cafeteria." And so we left. Oh, who's here in time for the thumb story?
Owen.
Owen, we're doing a podcast.
I was talking about.
Oh, and they want to
we can
fucking talk about the thumb story.
Oh, not until he gets to 1 million.
Okay,
To 1 million
okay,
subscribers.
Okay, hold up. Let's finish this story and then we can do the thumb story.
Wait, are
No.
we
But then
safe?
we all left, and yeah, that was basically the pepper spray story.
Okay, I
Owen,
gotta remember
let's-
the thumb story.
I know you'll remember it, Jake.
Owen, you want to talk
oh, yeah,
about the
no,
thumb
I
story?
know I will.
Hold on, hold on. Owen, are we fucking
The one
telling
where you
thumb
broke
story?
your thumb with Umberto.
Alright, basically,
Are we telling that story?
Yeah,
Yes.
It's
let's
up
do
to
it.
y'all.
Let's do it.
It's between you and
so
Owen,
funny.
Roberto. It's between you and Owen.
Man, this is set up in this bed.
It's between you and Owen, Umberto. Whatever y'all want.
alright, basically, my thumb was like this, right?
No. You gotta tell it from the beginning. You gotta tell it from the beginning. You
That's
can't
all-
like.
That's all that happened. That's
From
all
the
that happened.
very beginning.
Okay, fine.
We
Well,
went to Owen's.
Yeah, it is what I thought it
place.
was.
okay, Owen, stop. We're trying to make a podcast here. Cause I guess. Okay,
Recording.
Owen.
Owen's all
I'm
about that
Owen. I
controversy.
want you to tell you this right now. I'm recording and this is going on YouTube.
Oh, your ass is gonna be.
Immediately
Yo,
does
you're
his
really
head.
good at editing, though, right? Like,
I don't know. I could upload it raw. I could do that.
No, don't do that.
That's how I do it.
Alright.
Okay, Owen,
Alright,
stop
let's hear
for
the
real
story.
though.
I'm
We're trying to make a podcast. So
alright,
Owen, should I tell the story? Because your dumbass probably doesn't know.
fuck up.
You're probably gonna fucking tell it wrong.
Hey, we probably get two viewpoints.
Alright, Owen, you say it first then.
Alright, who is that?
So,
okay,
What the fuck?
Alright, basically, we were at Madeline's house, right? And we were like, why? I don't know what we were doing.
Oh, this is a
Ex-girlfriend's
different story, I
place.
think.
No, it's the same one.
What
Alex,
other
shut up.
story is there?
I don't fucking know.
it's where you put your thumb up on the cafeteria seat.
Owen, it's our story, bro.
It
And
was
then-
no
That is not the
cafeteria seat. It was never in the cafeteria.
Oh, did you break it in the
No,
at
it's
Madeline?
our story. What are you
Okay.
Alright,
You
hold on,
guys
just
tell
tell
it.
it,
You guys
tell
tell
it,
it. Just
tell
tell
it.
it. Tell
No,
it.
I was at Madeline's house, right? And we were all like watching the movie, or like someone was playing. I don't know what the hell happened. And then
This dumbass
there
never
was
put
this-
his fucking thumb down.
yeah, I
playing
put my
around.
thumb like this, right, as a joke. So he would like, I thought he would like look down before he sat, and he sat, and once it went like that, and it went down, and then basically the second time
He
he
did
did
it
it,
again.
and he didn't look down the second time, right? And
Why
it
the
went
fuck am I supposed to
backwards.
look down? Why did you move it?
Bro, shut up, right? It went backwards
Oh.
and it rolled back and broke right here.
Oh.
And so I was like,
And then he comes to school in a
my thumb was
cast.
like double the size.
And then
My
he,
thumb was like double the size, and so I went to the bathroom and ran under cold water because it felt better under cold water, right? And the next day, my mom, I was like, "Mom, my thumb really hurts. It's like, it looked broken or whatever." Right? She was like, "Okay, I'll take you to the doctor tomorrow."
bent backwards.
And I was like,
So it was
"Okay."
broken for like 2 days and you didn't do anything?
You're like touching you.
Just eating dinner with it bent backwards. He's like trying to grab the
No,
fork.
it wasn't like that.
It wasn't
It
like
bent
bent backwards, it was
popped
like-
back up.
It's like you flick it back and it just kind of like.
It
He was
ragdolls.
fucking twisted out of its goddamn shit. It wasn't twisted like 30, 60 degrees.
But like, how
It was
does it
fucking-
bend backwards
No,
and
okay.
pop?
It like rolled backwards.
Was it like on the joint or
But
something?
this happened
Yeah,
over
it
a
was, like,
weekend,
right
right?
Okay.
This
bent
happened
there
over a
and
weekend,
broke,
right?
like, at the joint.
Right, this happened over a weekend.
I don't fucking remember.
Well, I think
Yeah,
it
I
did,
don't
because
know.
I remember you
Okay.
came to school one day, like, with your
Oh, we were on the
thumb.
bus, and I was like, "Oh, what the fuck happened?" You're like, "I don't want to talk about it."
And everybody started asking him, and then Madeline, she just goes, he broke his thumb because Umberto sat on it.
I'm pretty sure.
He tried to
pretty
stick
sure
his
Owen told
thumb
me-
up his
Owen
ass
told me
by
he broke
sitting
it.
on him.
He broke it like.
Umberto broke his thumb by sitting on it, and it was the funniest shit.
Yeah,
Ever, 'cause you told-
to my
you
mom,
told
and
us-
I was like, "Mom, we gotta go to the doctor. My thumb's a little broken." And she was like, "Okay, I'll take you like tomorrow or something." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then, yeah, and then she took me, and we got. And then they're like, "Yeah, we gotta do X-rays, but we can't do them right now." And I was like, "Oh, all right." And then we waited like 2 more days, or something like that, and we drove around all day, getting an X-ray, right? And then. Yeah, and then we eventually got the X-ray, and we got the results back like the next day or something like that. And then they were like, "Yeah, it's your thumb's fractured," and I was like, "Nice." And then
What fucking
No.
story did you tell the doctor? and
No.
your mom?
He fucking
Yeah.
fractured his thumb trying to
So
stick
guys,
it
I
up
put my thumb on
Umberto's
the couch
ass.
hoping it was gonna go up his butt.
okay, I wasn't hoping.
Alright, me and my homie, we were on some
Guaranteed.
mad fruity shit, right? We were chilling, like I wanted to impress my girlfriend over here, so I was like,
I wanted to show her that. I wanted to show her that like 1 inch is big. Okay, like I mean, if Umberto is gonna cry about it, then like, it's big.
It
Shut up.
was so funny. Oh my
What the fuck is
god.
you making me sound gay for? What the fuck?
He's not gay,
Yeah.
he's straight, but
Not
it
rocking with that
was
gay
Wait,
so
what do you mean?
funny. And then he comes back and his thumb's in a cast, and we're like, what the fuck happened? He broke his thumb trying to stick it up his ass.
No, it was literally.
I know he
pretty sure
sat on
Madeline
it, but
told
that's how we
Ava.
portrayed it. We all said that you broke your thumb because you tried
Yeah.
to stick it up Umberto's ass.
What about the time when Aiden passed out in Spanish class?
Oh yeah, we already went over.
We
that
already
one.
we already went over.
You went over that
that.
one.
"Oh,
Yeah.
no, you didn't."
No, we
We did the
the
science
one no the one not the one where Jacob or not Jacob when James
Oh,
choked him out, but the one
James,
where
no, he's talking about
he
the
made
other time.
himself pass
Yeah.
out. So there's
Yeah.
another time that Aiden passed
What
out.
about the
No, we're gonna talk
He
about
was
the
just trying
passed
to
out
see
Oh, yeah.
how
Right.
red he could
So,
get his face.
You know
Yes.
how like
He
you
was trying
like
to get.
sitting
He
like
was
you
trying to
shake
see.
you build up the pressure in your face to like make yourself go unconscious, or like
Oh,
so
yeah, I
Aiden
was seeing-
somebody
Wow.
tried to make their face red, and then Aiden's like, I bet you I can beat that.
Well, the thing was,
He was like,
when
I bet you I
my
can make my face
is
more
just
red.
generally red.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
He's
So
like,
Aiden
I
thought
bet
he
I
could
can
just
make,
beat my generally red face.
and
So
then he
he
goes,
decided to do that. First of
and his
all,
head
our
like
teacher,
starts
our
to get
teacher
red.
said, Aiden,
First of all,
you
your face can't
probably
get more red
shouldn't
than
do that. You don't look very good. Aiden said, okay.
You don't
and
look
then
very
did it
good.
again, and he fell sideways out of his chair, hit his head on the ground.
So that's just getting really
So-
red, and he just
Yes,
Yeah,
he
he
did that.
just
So
fell
first
over.
thing I did was laugh.
Hold on.
Then
Of
I
course.
tried to give him CPR. with
mouth to
my hand.
mouth.
That is not. That is not.
We don't
We-
actually
yeah,
try
that
to
was
do
just an
CPR, bro.
excuse
You
for the
know you
mouth
just
to
wanted to
mouth.
fuck.
That was just an excuse.
Yeah.
We, you know,
It was
mean,
in
who
the middle
wouldn't?
of the
Come on.
class.
No, and
No.
then he had to get taken to the nurse's office, where he was then
Yeah, he got
resuscitated after going unconscious
Yo,
from making his face red.
Dude, he might have beaten the rest. His face was really red.
Yeah, anyways, his face was red as hell, and it was so funny. And then Aiden, we were in lunch, and we were like, Aiden, we hear you passed out, and he goes, I don't want to talk about it. And then Reed is just like, yeah, he tried to make his face more red than mine. It was the funniest shit ever. And okay, I now say that, like, we all wonder why Aiden is so cocky in, like, Call of Duty, like, why he pushes everything. But think about it. He thought he could one-up that girl on the tree.
In real life.
No, he thought he could one-up the girl. He thought he could one-up Reed on making his face red, when Reed is a ginger, so his face is naturally red.
It's already as red as it gets. Like,
yeah, like,
Oh, and you look
it's
at Mac,
just so
you.
funny.
Hey, can I get some
good.
Boys, I will say, we have hit an hour and 10 minutes. 3,
Bye.
2, 1. Thank you for tuning in to the NutJob podcast. Be sure to tune in next week when we discuss
Wait, what are we
Eli.
doing?
Shut the fuck up!
ruined it.
God damn it!
Gracias por viendo la NutJobs podcast.
Dummy idiot.
I think we should let a bird do the outro.
Thank you for tuning into the NutJob podcast. Be sure to tune in next week when we talk about Eli.
Gracias por viendo la podcast de los NutJobs.
Shit, bro.